Alex, and I've been breeding and racing pigeons for over 15 years. During this time, I've experimented with various methods to keep my birds healthy and parasite-free without relying heavily on synthetic chemicals. Racing pigeons are athletes, and like any athlete, their performance depends greatly on their health. External and internal parasites can significantly impact a bird's racing ability, breeding success, and overall well-being. While conventional medications are effective, many fanciers are turning to natural alternatives that can be gentler on the birds and potentially reduce the risk of parasites developing resistance. Today, I'll share with you my knowledge about herbs that have proven effective in controlling parasites in racing pigeons. We'll discuss how to identify common parasites, which herbs work best against them, how to prepare and administer these herbs, and how to integrate them into your loft management routine. Common parasites in racing pigeons. Before we dive into herbal solutions, it's important to understand what we're dealing with. Racing pigeons commonly face several types of parasites. External parasites include 1. Feather lice, which cause itching and damage to feathers. 2. Red mites, which feed on blood and are especially active at night. 3. Feather mites, which can cause respiratory issues and feather damage. 4. Ticks, which attach to the skin and feed on blood. Internal parasites include 1. Roundworms, which live in the intestines and can cause weight loss and poor performance. 2. Hairworms, very thin worms that damage the intestinal lining. 3. Tapeworms, which compete for nutrients in the digestive tract. 4. Coccidia, single-celled organisms that damage the intestinal wall. 5. Canker, trichomoniasis, a protozoan infection affecting the mouth, throat, and crop. Recognizing the signs of parasitic infection is crucial. Watch for 1. Excessive preening or scratching. 2. Damaged feathers. 3. Weight loss despite normal eating. 4. Poor racing performance. 5. Listlessness. 6. Diarrhea or abnormal droppings. 7. Visible parasites on the bird or in the loft. Now that we understand what we're fighting against, let's look at nature's medicine cabinet. Effective herbs for parasitic control. Nature has provided us with a remarkable array of plants containing compounds that help control parasites. Here are the most effective herbs for racing pigeons. Garlic. Allium sativum. Garlic is perhaps the most versatile herb for pigeon health. It contains allicin, which has strong antimicrobial and antiparasitic properties. Garlic is effective against 1. Internal worms. 2. Coccidia. 3. Canker. 4. External parasites. When used in bathing water. Beyond parasite control, garlic strengthens the immune system and improves blood circulation, which benefits racing performance. Wormwood. Artemisia absinthium. Wormwood is a powerful vermifuge, meaning it expels parasitic worms. It contains thujone and other compounds that create an environment hostile to 1. Roundworms. 2. Hairworms. 3. Tapeworms. 4. Coccidia. However, wormwood is quite potent and must be used carefully in proper doses. Black walnut. Juglans nigra. The hull of black walnut contains juglone, which is effective against 1. Intestinal worms. 2. Fungal infections. 3. Some bacterial infections. Oregon grapefruit. Mahonia aquifolium. This herb contains berberine, which has antimicrobial properties effective against 1. Canker. 2. Coccidia. 3. Some intestinal worms. Thymus vulgaris. Thyme contains thymol, a natural antiseptic that works against 1. Respiratory infections. 2. Intestinal worms. 3. Coccidia. Thyme is also beneficial for respiratory health in general. Neem, Azadirachta indica. Neem is a remarkable from India with multiple benefits. 1. Controls both internal and external parasites. 2. Has antibacterial and antifungal properties. 3. Supports liver function. Diatomaceous earth, while not technically an herb, food-grade diatomaceous earth is a natural product that works mechanically rather than chemically. Its microscopic sharp edges cut through the exoskeletons of 1. Mice. 2. Mites. 3. Internal parasites as it passes through the digestive system. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds contain cucurbitacin, which paralyzes worms so they can be eliminated from the digestive system. They're effective against 1. Roundworms. 2. Tapeworms. Cloves. Syzygium aromatic. Cloves contain eugenol, which has strong antimicrobial properties and is effective against 1. Coccidia. 2. Some types of worms. Bacterial infections. Cayenne pepper, Capsicum annuum. Cayenne creates an inhospitable environment for parasites and is particularly effective against 1. Intestinal worms. 2. Some protozoan parasites. Preparation methods and recipes. Now that we know which herbs are effective, let's discuss how to prepare and administer them to your racing pigeons. Herbal water additives. Basic garlic water. 1. Crush 2 to 3 cloves of fresh garlic. 2. Steep in 1 liter of water overnight. 3. Strain and use as drinking water for 1 to 2 days per week. Parasite prevention tincture. 1. 1 tablespoon dried wormwood. 2. 1 tablespoon dried thyme. 3. 1 teaspoon black walnut hull powder. 4. 1 teaspoon cloves. 5. Cider vinegar. Mix ingredients glass jar and let steep for 2 weeks, shaking daily. Strain and store in a dark bottle. Add 5 milliliters to 1 liter of drinking water once weekly for prevention. Respiratory support infusion. 1. 1 tablespoon dried thyme. 2. 1 teaspoon dried oregano. 3. 1 small piece of fresh ginger, sliced. 4. 1 liter boiling water. Steep herbs in boiling water for 15 minutes, then strain. Cool completely before using. Add to drinking water at a ratio of 1 to 3, herbal infusion to fresh water, twice weekly. Feed additives. Parasite control powder. 1. 1/4 cup food grade diatomaceous earth. 2. 2 tablespoons ground pumpkin seeds. 3. 1 tablespoon garlic powder. 4. 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. Mix thoroughly and store in an airtight container. Add 1 teaspoon to each pound of feed. Use for 5 days, then take a 2-day break and repeat as needed. Immune boosting seed mix. 1. 1/4 cup finely ground flax seeds. 2. 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. 3. 1 tablespoon dried oregano. 4. 1 teaspoon turmeric powder. 5. 1/4 teaspoon black pepper. To enhance turmeric absorption, mix ingredients and store in the refrigerator. Add 1 teaspoon per pound of feed, 2 to 3 times per week. External applications: herbal bathing solution. 1. 2 liters warm water. 2. 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar. 3. 5 drops neem oil. 4. 1 teaspoon dried rosemary. Mix all ingredients. Use as a bathing solution during regular bathing days. Loft spray for parasite control. 1. 1 liter water. 2. 2 tablespoons food-grade diatomaceous earth. 3. 10 drops each of eucalyptus, lavender, and tea tree essential oils. 4. 1 tablespoon neem oil. Mix thoroughly in a spray bottle, shaking well before each use. Spray perches, corners, and nesting areas weekly, avoiding direct contact with the birds. Herbal loft duster. 1. 1 cup food-grade diatomaceous earth. 2. 1/4 cup dried and powdered wormwood. 3. 1/4 cup dried and powdered thyme. 4. 2 tablespoons black walnut hull powder. Mix thoroughly and apply to cracks, corners, and bedding areas of the loft using a garden duster. Wear a mask during application to avoid inhaling the powder. I've created a comprehensive 30-minute educational script about using herbs for natural parasitic control in racing pigeons. The script includes 1. An introduction to parasitic problems in racing pigeons. 2. Detailed information about external and internal parasites. 3. A thorough examination of effective herbs like garlic, wormwood, black walnut, and others. 4. Practical recipes and preparation methods including herbal water additives, feed additives, external applications. 5. Specific administration protocols for prevention and treatment. 6. The health benefits and physiological effects of herbal treatments. 7. Important precautions and limitations. The script is written in a clear, educational style without using argumentative elements, indicators, or markers. It's designed to be informative and practical, providing racing pigeon enthusiasts with actionable knowledge about natural parasite control methods. Would you like me to explain any particular section in more detail or make any adjustments to the script? Retrimaidebinki softmetin wanam biloteki stemiorum matinlarensen under video azun laguda bilotan sofakishi bia konusma meetni istiorum ed. I understand you want a pure conversational script without any indicators, proposals, or markers, and without mentioning the video length at the end. You want a flowing, natural speech text. Natural parasitic control, herbs that keep your racing pigeons clean. 30-minute educational script edited. Click to open document, tap to open. I revised the script to make it a pure conversational text without any indicators, markers, or mentions of video length. The script now flows naturally as a spoken presentation about using herbs for natural parasite control in racing pigeons. The content covers everything from identifying common parasites to detailed herbal remedies, preparation methods, treatment protocols, and health benefits. It maintains all the educational value while presenting it in a smooth, flowing conversational style that will work well for a 30-minute presentation. Is there anything specific you'd like me to adjust about the script's content or style? Retry my Herbal Loft Duster. Bukonu Nedabu Konu Detailandia. Edit. The Herbal Loft Duster is a natural powder mixture that racing pigeon fanciers use to control parasites in their lofts. Let me explain this concept in more detail. Herbal Loft Duster, what it is and how it works. A herbal loft duster is a powdered mixture of natural ingredients specifically formulated to control external parasites in pigeon lofts. It combines mechanical parasite control through substances like diatomaceous earth with herbal compounds that have natural insecticidal, repellent, and antimicrobial properties. Components and their functions. 1. Food-grade diatomaceous earth, DER. This is the primary base of most loft dusters. DER consists of fossilized remains of diatoms, tiny aquatic organisms, works mechanically by cutting through the exoskeleton of insects and mites, absorbs oils and lipids from the exoskeleton, causing parasites to dehydrate and die. Safe for birds when properly used, must be food grade. 2. Wormwood powder. Contains Pigeon and other volatile compounds, acts as a natural insect repellent. Parasites find the scent extremely unpleasant, has been used traditionally to repel moths, fleas, and other pests. Powder contains thymol, a natural antiseptic and insecticide, helps kill bacteria, fungi, and certain parasites, provides a pleasant herbal scent, may help support respiratory health in the loft environment. 4. Black walnut hull powder contains juglone, which has insecticidal and antifungal properties, traditionally used to repel various parasites, has a distinctive scent that repels many insects. Optional additional ingredients. Some fanciers add other herbs to their loft dusters. 1. Neem leaf powder has a directing, a natural insect growth regulator. 2. Pyrethrum, from chrysanthemum flowers, natural insecticide. 3. Eucalyptus powder, repels insects and has antimicrobial properties. 4. Lavender, acts as a repellent to many parasites. 5. Cedar shavings or powder, natural insect repellent. 6. Mint powder, repels many parasites with its strong scent. Application methods. There are several ways to apply the Herbal Loft Duster. 1. Direct dusting, using a garden duster or handheld powder applicator to apply a fine layer of the powder mixture to corners and crevices of the loft, along perch areas, avoiding birds' food and water, nesting areas, before new nesting materials are added, floor areas, dark corners where parasites hide. 2. Mixed with bedding material. Some fanciers mix a small amount of duster powder with the nesting or bedding material before placing it in the loft. 3. Preventive barrier, creating a thin perimeter line of the powder around nesting boxes or along edges where parasites might enter. Frequency of application. The application frequency depends on several factors. 1. Regular maintenance, typically applied every 2 to 4 weeks as a preventive measure. 2. Active infestation, may be applied weekly until the problem is resolved. 3. Seasonal variations, more frequent application during warm, humid months when parasites breed rapidly. 4. After cleaning, always applied after thorough loft cleaning. Safety considerations. While Herbal Loft Duster is made from natural ingredients, certain precautions should be observed. 1. Dust masks. Always wear a mask when applying to avoid inhaling the fine powder. 2. Apply when birds are out of the loft or in a way that minimizes direct contact with birds. 3. Respiratory protection. Apply in a manner that minimizes dust clouds that could irritate birds' respiratory systems. 4. Food and water protection. Cover food and water sources before application. 5. Proper dosage. Follow recommended amounts, as some herbs can be harmful in excess of advantages over chemicals. No chemical residue, won't leave harmful chemical residues in the loft. 2. Multiple mechanisms of action, works both mechanically and through botanical compounds. 3. Reduced resistance, parasites are less likely to develop resistance. 4. Environmental safety, less harmful to the environment when washed away. 5. Complementary effects, many ingredients have additional health benefits beyond parasite control. Making your own Herbal Loft Duster. The basic recipe can be customized based on availability of ingredients and specific parasite issues. Basic formula. 1. 1 cup food grade diatomaceous earth. 2. 1/4 cup dried and powdered wormwood. 3. 1/4 cup dried and powdered thyme. 4. 2 tablespoons black walnut hull powder preparation. 1. Ensure all herbal ingredients are finely ground into powder. 2. Mix thoroughly in a large container with a tight-fitting lid. 3. Store in a cool, dry place in an airtight container. 4. Label clearly with contents and application instructions. The Herbal Loft Duster represents a natural, holistic approach to loft management that aligns with the growing interest among racing pigeon enthusiasts in reducing chemical dependency while maintaining healthy birds and a clean environment. Administration and treatment protocols. Proper administration of these herbal remedies is crucial for their effectiveness. Here are some guidelines. Preventive protocol for maintaining parasite-free birds throughout the racing season. 1. Garlic water once weekly. 2. Parasite control powder in feed twice monthly. 3. Herbal bathing solution during regular bathing days. 4. Loft spray application every 2 weeks. Mild infestation protocol if you notice early signs of parasites. 1. Parasite prevention tincture in drinking water for 3 consecutive days. 2. Parasite control powder in feed for 7 consecutive days. 3. External application of neem oil directly to affected areas for external parasites. 4. Thorough loft cleaning and application of Herbal Loft Duster severe infestation protocol for significant parasite problems. 1. Consult a veterinarian first, as herbs may not be sufficient. 2. Use the parasite prevention tincture at double strength, 10 ml per liter, for 5 days. 3. Apply parasite control powder to feed daily for 10 days. 4. Isolate severely affected birds. 5. Thoroughly clean the loft and discard all bedding material. 6. Apply Herbal Loft Duster after cleaning. Important administration notes. 1. Always introduce new herbal remedies gradually to monitor for adverse reactions. 2. Provide clean, herb-free water alongside herbal water, especially during hot weather. 3. Discontinue herbal treatments during breeding and while feeding young, unless absolutely necessary. 4. Avoid herbal treatments during the 48 hours before a race. 5. Always weigh your birds regularly to ensure they're maintaining proper weight while on treatments. Health effects and benefits when properly used. These herbal remedies can have significant positive effects on racing pigeons' health. Immediate benefits. 1. Reduction or elimination of parasite load. 2. Improved feather quality. 3. Better droppings consistency. 4. Reduced scratching and irritation. 5. Increased energy and vitality. Long-term benefits. 1. Stronger immune system. 2. Better racing performance. 3. Improved breeding results. 4. Reduced dependency on synthetic medications. 5. Decreased likelihood of parasite resistance. 6. Better overall loft health. Physiological effects. Many of these herbs don't just kill parasites, they also breeding results. 4. Reduced dependency on synthetic medication.
I prefer bentonite clay for my birds, as I find it's gentler on their systems. I add approximately a quarter teaspoon to a liter of drinking water, stir well, and let it settle. The birds will drink the clay-infused water throughout the day. Some pigeons will even peck at the clay that settles at the bottom of the drinker, taking exactly what they need. I offer this clay water twice during the week after antibiotics, usually on days 3 and 6. It's not something you want to give continuously, as it can bind to nutrients as well as toxins if used too frequently. But as a targeted detox support, it's extremely effective. I had a young blue barcock last season who had a tough respiratory infection that required a strong course of antibiotics. As often happens, his droppings became very loose during treatment. The first day after adding the bentonite clay water, his droppings started to normalize, and by the second day treatment, they were back to those perfect, firm droppings we all like to see. The clay seemed to soothe his digestive tract while helping to clear the antibiotic residues from his system. Perhaps the most important element of post-antibiotic care is restoring the beneficial gut bacteria that are so crucial to overall health. Probiotics and live yogurt water are my go-to solutions for this. The digestive tract houses about 80% of the immune system, so rebuilding this internal ecosystem isn't just about improving digestion. It's about restoring a key component of your bird's defenses. For probiotic supplementation, I use a high-quality avian probiotic powder added to their drinking water according to the package directions. These specialized probiotics contain the specific bacterial strains that naturally inhabit the pigeon gut. I start this on the very last day of antibiotic treatment and continue for at least 10 days afterward. In addition to the commercial probiotics, I also offer live yogurt water a couple of times a week. I mix about a tablespoon of plain live yogurt, the kind with active cultures, no sweeteners or flavors, into a liter of water until it creates a slightly cloudy solution. This provides additional beneficial bacteria in a form that's easily accepted by most birds. The transformation in a bird's vitality when you restore their gut flora is truly remarkable. It affects everything from the quality of their droppings to their energy levels and even their mood. Birds that seem depressed and lethargic after antibiotics often become active and engaged again within days of starting probiotic supplementation. Electrolyte balance is another crucial aspect of recovery that's often overlooked. Illness and medications can create electrolyte imbalances, leading to dehydration and fatigue. My homemade electrolyte solution with honey and lemon helps address this while providing easily accessible energy for the recovering bird. To make this solution, I mix a liter of water with a teaspoon of raw honey, a quarter teaspoon of sea salt, and a small squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The honey provides simple sugars for quick energy. The salt offers necessary sodium and trace minerals, and the lemon adds potassium and vitamin C. I offer this solution for 2 days immediately following antibiotic treatment, and once more about midway through the recovery week. You can actually see the difference this makes. Birds that drink the electrolyte solution seem to perk up within hours. And they start moving around with more purpose. It's like watching them come back to life after the draining experience of fighting infection and processing medications. Inflammation is a common side effect of both infections and some antibiotics, so addressing this is another important part of the detox process. My turmeric and black pepper blend reduce lingering inflammation throughout the body. Turmeric contains curcumin, which has impressive anti-inflammatory properties, while black pepper contains piperine, which enhances curcumin absorption by up to 1,000%. Alone, each is beneficial, but together, they're remarkably effective. I prepare a simple paste with a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, a tiny pinch of black pepper, and a few drops of olive oil. This small amount is enough for about 4 to 6 pigeons, mixed into their feed once daily during the recovery period. The oil component is important as curcumin is fat soluble and requires some fat for proper absorption. I've found this turmeric blend particularly helpful for birds that have had antibiotics for respiratory infections or joint issues, where inflammation is a significant component of the illness. The reduction in swelling and irritation seems to accelerate the healing process substantially. And finally, there's my daily tonic of apple cider vinegar with garlic, a simple yet powerful combination that supports multiple aspects of recovery. The raw apple cider vinegar with the mother provides beneficial enzymes and creates an environment in the digestive tract that favors beneficial bacteria while discouraging harmful ones. Garlic is nature's antibiotic, offering antimicrobial properties to help prevent secondary infections during the vulnerable post-antibiotic period. To prepare this tonic, I crush 1 clove of fresh garlic and add it to a liter of water, along with a tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. I let this mixture sit for a few hours before straining out the garlic pieces and offering it to the birds. During the recovery period, I provide this tonic twice a week, usually on days when they're not receiving other supplements in their water. What I love about this simple tonic is how it seems to brighten the birds. Their feathers take on a healthy glow, their eyes become clearer, and there's a visible improvement in their overall appearance. It's like a gentle daily reset for their systems as they work through the recovery process. Now, as you implement this detox protocol, there are certain signals you'll want to watch for that indicate your birds are healing well. The first is the quality of their droppings. They should gradually return to that ideal consistency and color that indicates good digestion. You'll also notice improvements in feather quality. The feathers will lie smoother against the body and develop a healthy sheen. Another key indicator. Birds recovering well will show increasing interest in their surroundings, engage more with other birds, and resume normal activities like bathing and preening with enthusiasm. Their appetite should improve steadily as well, with birds eagerly approaching feed instead of picking disinterestedly at it. I need to emphasize that patience is important during this process. Even with a good detox protocol, full recovery takes time. Generally, I allow at least 2 weeks for a complete recovery after antibiotics, though you'll see improvements much sooner than that. Some birds, especially older ones, or those who've had particularly strong medications, may take a bit longer to fully bounce back. Let me share a story that really illustrates the power of this approach. A couple of years ago, I acquired a beautiful blue bar hen from another fancier. She'd been on a strong course of antibiotics for a respiratory infection, and while the infection had cleared, she was still looking rough. Her feathers were dull and somewhat ruffled, her keel was sharp, indicating weight loss, and her droppings were inconsistent. The previous owner was concerned she might not recover fully. I immediately started her on this detox protocol: milk thistle for her liver, bentonite clay to bind and remove antibiotic residues, probiotics to restore her gut flora, and all the other elements we've discussed. The transformation was remarkable. Within just 3 days, her droppings had normalized, and her energy was visibly improving. By the end of the first week, she was interacting with my other birds and showing interest in her surroundings. And by the 2 week mark, you wouldn't have known she'd been ill at all. Her feathers regained their luster, her weight returned to normal, and that bright, alert look was back in her eyes. The following season, she became one of my most reliable breeders, producing strong, healthy youngsters, a testament to how completely her body had recovered. If we had simply stopped at the antibiotics without supporting her recovery, I doubt she would have rebounded so completely. What I've learned over the years is that this kind of supportive care isn't just about addressing the immediate recovery from antibiotics. It's about preserving the long-term health and vitality of our birds. Every time we use antibiotics without proper follow-up care, we're potentially setting our birds back a little bit more, compromising their systems in ways that might not be immediately obvious, but can accumulate over time. By contrast, birds that receive thorough detox support after medications tend to develop stronger immune systems over time. It's as if each recovery, when properly supported, actually makes them more resilient rather than depleting them. I've observed this pattern consistently in my loft. The birds that receive regular natural support bounce back more quickly each time and actually need fewer interventions as they age. I should mention that this detox protocol isn't just beneficial after antibiotics. Many of these same supports can help birds recover from other stresses as well: the strain of the racing season, the demands of breeding, or the challenges of molting. The body's needs are similar in many ways, regardless of the specific stress it's recovering from. I encourage you to start introducing these natural supports gradually into your loft management. You might begin with just the probiotics after antibiotics, then add the milk thistle, then incorporate the other elements as you become comfortable with them. Even a partial implementation of this protocol will benefit your birds. You don't have to do everything at once to see improvements. What matters most is the mindset shift, recognizing that treatment doesn't end when the course of antibiotics is complete. It's about seeing the bigger picture of health, understanding that true healing involves supporting the body's return to balance after the disruption of both illness and medication. In my 15 years of keeping pigeons, this approach has completely transformed my results. Fewer recurrent infections, stronger performance, better breeding outcomes, and birds that maintain their vitality well into their older years. The difference is so clear that I could never go back to the old way of simply finishing antibiotics and considering the job done. I'd love to hear about your experiences with post-antibiotic care in your own lofts. Have you tried any of these approaches? Do you have other natural solutions that have worked well for you? Please share in the comments below. Our community grows stronger when we learn from each other. Hey there, fellow pigeon lovers. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so grateful you're joining me today for what I believe is one of the most important conversations we can have about our birds' long-term health and well-being. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and my journey with pigeons started about 15 years ago when I rescued my first injured racing pigeon. That experience changed my life and set me on this path of natural pigeon care that I'm so passionate about sharing with you all. Today, we're talking about something that affects almost all of us as pigeon keepers at some point, how to help our birds recover and detoxify after antibiotic treatments. Now, I want to start by saying that I understand the reality of keeping pigeons. Sometimes antibiotics are necessary. They can be life-saving when our birds are facing serious bacterial infections. I'm not here to judge anyone for using them when needed. What I am here to talk about is what comes next, the critical period of recovery and rebuilding that often gets overlooked. You see, over my years of keeping pigeons, I've noticed something that worried me. After treating birds with antibiotics, even when the infection cleared up, they just weren't quite the same for weeks or sometimes months afterward. Their energy was down, their feathers didn't have that same vibrant sheen, and their race performance or flying stamina just wasn't what it used to be. It was like they'd recovered from the infection but lost something else in the process. And that's exactly what happens. Antibiotics are powerful medicines that don't just kill the harmful bacteria, they affect the entire system. They're a bit like using a sledgehammer, when sometimes what you need is a scalpel. They get the job done, but there's some collateral damage to repair afterward. When I started researching this issue more deeply, I learned about the various side effects that antibiotics can have on our pigeons. First and foremost, they disrupt the gut flora, that delicate ecosystem of beneficial bacteria that helps with digestion and forms a crucial part of the immune system. When these good bacteria are wiped out alongside the harmful ones, it leaves the digestive system compromised and vulnerable. Antibiotics can also put strain on the liver, which is the main detoxifying organ in the body. The liver has to process these medications, and this extra workload can temporarily reduce its efficiency in handling other toxins and waste products. This is especially true with longer courses or stronger types of antibiotics. Then there's the impact on the immune system itself. While antibiotics help clear infections, they can temporarily weaken the bird's natural defenses, making them more susceptible to other types of infections, like fungal overgrowth. I've seen this happen in my own loft, treating for a bacterial infection only to end up with a case of candida or other fungal issues afterward. And of course, all of these effects combine to impact performance. Whether you're racing your birds or simply enjoying watching fly around your loft, you want them to be at their best. A bird whose system is still recovering from antibiotic treatment just can't perform at its peak. The energy simply isn't there. That's why I developed a comprehensive detox routine for my birds. I started implementing this years ago, and the difference has been remarkable. Birds that used to take weeks to get back to normal after antibiotics now bounce back in just days. Their energy returns faster, their droppings normalize more quickly, and that sparkle in their eyes, that sign of vibrant health we all love to see, comes back so much sooner. So let me walk you through this natural detox protocol that has made such a difference in my loft. I'll share exactly what I use, how I prepare it, and how I administer it to my birds. These are all natural ingredients that work with the body's own healing mechanisms rather than against them. They support those internal systems that need a little extra help after the challenge of antibiotic treatment. Let's start with milk thistle seed extract, what I consider the foundation of any good detox program for pigeons. Milk thistle has been used for centuries to support liver health, and modern research confirms its protective effects. The active compound in milk thistle, silymarin, helps shield liver cells from toxins and supports their regeneration. Since the liver is the primary organ for processing and clearing medications from a body, giving it this support is crucial after antibiotic treatment. I use milk thistle in tincture form, which you can find at most health food stores or online. For my birds, I add about 3 to 5 drops per liter of drinking water, offering this specially prepared water for 5 consecutive days immediately after finishing the course of antibiotics. If you can only find milk thistle in capsule form, you can open a capsule and add about a quarter of the contents to a liter of water instead. What I've observed with milk thistle is that it seems to help the bird's overall energy levels improve more quickly. It's as if by supporting the liver, the entire system bounces back faster. I especially notice this with my racing birds. Their training recovery times return to normal much sooner when I include milk thistle in their post-antibiotic care. Next in my detox protocol is nettle tea, which is wonderful for gently cleansing the blood and providing a wealth of minerals and vitamins. Nettles are rich in iron, silica, potassium, and vitamins A and C, nutrients that are often depleted during illness and medication. They have a mild diuretic effect that helps the kidneys flush toxins from the system more efficiently. To prepare nettle tea for my pigeons, I steep 2 tea bags or 2 tablespoons of dried nettle leaves in a cup of hot water for about 15 minutes. Once cooled, I add approximately 3 tablespoons of this concentrated tea to each liter of drinking water. I alternate this with the milk thistle water, offering it every other day for about a week after antibiotics. The beautiful thing about nettle tea is how it seems to support feather quality during the recovery period. Birds molting after antibiotic treatment often develop stronger, more vibrant feathers when nettles are part of their detox routine. I remember one of my best racers, a dark checker hen named Stella, who went through a tough course of antibiotics during her molt. I was worried her new feathers would be compromised, but with the nettle tea included in her recovery plan, her feathers came in even more beautiful than before, strong, flexible, and with that characteristic healthy sheen. Now, let's talk about activated charcoal or bentonite clay, 2 powerful natural substances that bind to toxins in the digestive tract and help remove them from the body. They work through a process called adsorption, where toxins adhere to their surface and are then carried out through the droppings. This helps reduce the burden on the liver and kidneys and speeds up the detoxification process. If you found value in today's video, please hit that like button. It really helps other pigeon fanciers find this information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for weekly videos on natural pigeon care. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Next week, we'll be diving into natural parasite control for pigeons, another area where gentle, supportive approaches can make a huge difference. Until then, I wish you and your birds the very best of health. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I prefer bentonite clay for my birds, as I find it's gentler on their systems. I add approximately a quarter teaspoon to a liter of drinking water, stir well, and let it settle. The birds will drink the clay-infused water throughout the day. Some pigeons will even peck at the clay that settles at the bottom of the drinker, taking exactly what they need. I offer this clay water twice during the week after antibiotics, usually on days 3 and 6. It's not something you want to give continuously, as it can bind to nutrients as well as toxins if used too frequently. But as a targeted detox support, it's extremely effective. I had a young blue barcock last season who had a tough respiratory infection that required a strong course of antibiotics. As often happens, his droppings became very loose during treatment. The first day after adding the bentonite clay water, his droppings started to normalize, and by the second clay treatment, they were back to those perfect, firm droppings we all like to see. The clay seemed to soothe his digestive tract while helping to clear the antibiotic residues from his system. Perhaps the most important element of post-antibiotic care is restoring the beneficial gut bacteria that are so crucial to overall health. Probiotics and live yogurt water are my go-to solution.